Greetings, this is Charles Darwin, and I'm here to talk to you today about how you can do important scientific investigation using very simple equipment. Not so much today, but in the past. And so, one example of an important question that changes our whole view of the universe that we can ask using very simple equipment is, how far away is the moon? We look at the moon, it looks fairly large, but it could be that it is small and close by, or it could be that it's big and far away. And if it's small and close by, maybe that's what ancient people thought, because they thought that maybe it was a god going across the sky, in which case it wasn't too far away and it wasn't very big. Whereas if the moon was very far away and very big, then that would change our view of the universe, vast distances that we may not have even suspected existed. So I gave my students a quiz question one time, back when I was teaching at the university, and I told them, find out how far away is the moon. That is it close by and small, or is it far away and large? And the only equipment you have is a stick. And you live in a village at the bottom of a mountain, and that you could go to the top of the mountain. So here's the answer that I had in mind. That you could take the stick and use it to measure the diameter of the moon. Probably the vertical diameter, because that's going to be the same regardless of the phase of the moon. But if you wanted to measure it at full moon, you could measure the horizontal diameter. But either way, now what units would you use? English units, metric units? It doesn't matter. All you have to do is hold the stick up and make a little mark on it with a knife. Heck, even a Neanderthal could have done that. But anyway, then the next night, or the next day, you climb the mountain. The next night, you make the measurement again, and if the moon appears to be the same size, then you can conclude that the moon is very large and very far away. Now, a lot of times we take things for granted. The ancient people thought that the moon was a god going across the sky, and so they didn't bother making measurements like this. Even a Neanderthal could have made them, but it wouldn't have occurred to a Neanderthal to even ask the question. Today, however, we also are complacent in our assumptions. For instance, I personally have never done that. I have never measured the diameter of the moon and then gone up the mountain and measured it again. One of my students on that quiz gave a very creative answer. And she said, what you could do is climb to the top of the mountain and then go like that with the stick and try to hit the moon. And if you couldn't hit the moon, that means that it's further away than the stick. Well, that was a very creative answer. I had to give credit for it because technically it is correct, and I really enjoyed it. But you can see that it's possible to make important life-changing measurements using just something simple like a stick. This is Charles Darwin telling you,